How do you get your head around like those mega deals? I mean, do they make sense to you? Like an OpenAI, like raising 100 billion, and I would imagine that the investor would, in a deal like this, I mean, at least look for a 4x return, maybe three, which means like
Look,
300 billion
I'm
in
glad
proceeds.
I don't need to do that. I listened to a podcast with Josh Kushner this morning, actually, by complete coincidence. So Thrive does this sort of thing, right? They invest in OpenAI at a 50 billion valuation. Well, if the company ends up being worth 500 billion like they are today, they've still done a 10x, right? So if you get this right, it's actually surprisingly big multiples you can achieve on huge investments. But of course, in the LLM space, the question of will there be really a sustainable advantage at some point, and can OpenAI, to stick with that example, establish a position where their models are always substantially better than the open source models that come from somewhere else? Well, the jury is still out on that. I think you cannot build $1 trillion company if that's not the case. So obviously the investors and the management team believe that. So far, open source has always been pretty close behind. So far, I'm maybe not fully convinced that they can really build these huge sustainable businesses. But look, I'm glad I don't need to make that call. It's not the game we play, and so I don't have to get this right. But it's an interesting bet.